the Righteously Turned Up podcast with your hosts, David Ware and David Foster, where we talk about life, lessons, manhood, family, faith, health, hardships, and hustle.
To me, it's the most important thing, man. It's just waking up every day, making the right decision. You know, that's my whole premise for understanding what being righteously turned up is all about.
All right. Welcome back. The Righteously Turned Up podcast. This is episode 2. Shout out to my host, co-host, my man David Ware. I'm David Foster. We are broadcasting live from Las Vegas's premier podcast and recording studio, Vegas Hype Media Network. Shout out to Quan on the boards, keeping everything. And today is episode 2. The title of today's episode is, Are You Living Your Best Life?
Yes, sir.
Big question, big thing, arching, overhanging thing, you know, pretty much in everybody's life. So we're going to get into that. We do have a book of the day that we're going to talk about a little later on. Then we'll post a link to the book. So we're just going to get into some things, about living your best life. And if not, why not? And if you are, maybe you can share some information on how to help some other people get to that point. Yes, we will have the phone lines open. We'll be on the chat line answering any questions, comments, or any information you got going on. So how you doing, bro? What's going on with you?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
That's good, man. Good to see you, man.
I see you got your Lakers stuff on, man.
Yeah, man. I had to go and represent, man. You know, I wanted to take the victory lap early yesterday, but I had to go and wait, man. But we here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out to all my Laker Nation people in the building.
Right.
Lake Show. We got Denver up next, so we got our hands full. We'll see what's up.
Let's see what's up.
You know, so good NBA finals, by the way, NBA playoffs, by the way, so far so good. You know what I mean? So we here, you know what I mean? So we gonna build, man. So we'll definitely get into it right now. So like we said, are you living your best life? And just right off the bat, man, what would you think and say is what are some things that you would say what prevents people from living their best life? From your personal experience.
From my experience, I just think that we have to find a way to get, we got to find a way to get through the traumas that we may have, growing up, the decisions that we've made in our lives that has caused certain ill effects, certain behavior patterns that we, embark upon. Once we can get past those situations, and we can identify, then we can find ourselves living on a more highly frequent type of life. With all that stuff being said, we have to realize that those things are not permanent for us.
Right.
Those things are not something that says, you know what, this is your life, that's it, and there's nothing else left.
And it can't be changed.
And it cannot be changed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
anything could be changed with the right attitude, the right mindset, and the right knowledge.
And the right knowledge, yeah. And the right strategies to change it. And it's interesting what you said, because I've heard before that, like, a lot of stuff that happens to us trauma-wise, it could be from when you was 10 years old.
Right.
But you come 45, 50 years old, and that thing is still affecting you.
Still affecting you.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Either it wasn't resolved, or we've carried it with us this whole adult life, and we still trying to function. It's like a blockage. Yeah. We don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't know, why am I feeling like this? Why am I acting like this? But a lot of stuff, as that, I know I was talking to a guy in my church last week, and I said, I was telling him about, experience I had when I felt like I was in a valley for about 7 months, just like in a deep, dark place, man.
Yeah.
And he said, bro, it felt like I've been in there. He said, I'm 42 years old. And it felt like since 8 years old, I've been in that valley you talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, my 7 months don't seem like nothing.
Right.
But he said, like, he feels like he's been in it that long, something from childhood. Man.
And you'd be surprised how many people live that way. How many people have gone through their life living under that same state of mind. It's like being a child, but still growing within your body.
And you're an adult body.
And you're an adult body.
And we got childhood issues, whether it be trauma, abuse, parenting, you know, whatnot. But that's not going. We still got to grow up. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And we
absolutely.
still probably got to face stuff. And then we even having kids, and we still haven't dealt with our childhood.
Right.
You know, so,
right. And like I was talking before, we, have a tendency to allow those things to be so prevalent in our lives because we won't seek the help. We won't acknowledge that there's a problem. We have the innate ability to sugarcoat so much, sweep things under the rug, and then present an image of some sort. We fight very hard for that. Social media is one of the proven points. So many damaged people.
It is.
If you look at their highlight reels, everything looks wonderful.
Great. Right, right.
And in reality, life is very, imbalanced.
You don't see no low lights. You don't see no balance. You know, like everything can be a highlight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
They living their best life, but it's like the saying go, everybody's not who they supposed to be.
Hey, they supposed
not
to
supposed,
be.
but
Right.
supposed to be. You know
Right.
what I mean? I think social media, man, it's like it's good and bad, but it's really ripped through the fabric of our culture, man.
It absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it really like the obsessiveness of it. You can tell somebody who has all these all you see is selfie. It says me.
Right.
I think it's something really deep rooted in them, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's putting it on there, man. So it's crazy.
We trying to find solutions and answers outside of ourselves. We're trying to be validated by different entities, people, likes, and all these components that's out there. And we just don't spend enough time digging in and going within the real problem, which is facing your demons, facing your issues, and learning how to be okay with that being a problem for you. Because when you can get through those situations and find yourself on the path of healing, then the life that you get from that is unbelievable. And
but you got to do the work. You got to do the work.
work.
You got to do the work.
The work is the only thing that counts.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the world needs that. We live in a world where everybody is so living a life that's so confusing and misunderstood within themselves to where people are so deep in thought sometimes. You could get a hi or a hello on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, but in person, you act as like you can't even see the person.
That's true. That's true.
No acknowledgement whatsoever.
Not in real life.
Not in real life.
True. That's
and that's where you can tell like the human spirit is just dead right now.
It's gone. Right. Yeah, that is true. And they look for more validation online than in real life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like the likes and the hearts, that's like the new dope. You know what I mean?
It is the dope.
And they said like, this is like dopamine in our pocket.
It is exactly what it is.
You checking all that, you know what I mean? It's
right.
and I'm like, dang, like the it was on Netflix called the Social Network.
Yeah,
how they got real deep into the back end of the psychology of social media.
Right.
And a lot of the guys that helped build it and engineer it, they was sick once they figure out what it really did.
Right.
They couldn't believe that it went off the rails like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they never evaluated what they were doing from a psychological standpoint. I remember when it all started, it was mostly so people could keep in touch with their loved ones, the people that they don't normally see, so on and so forth. And it was very difficult to get a lot of people on your platform or on your page because you went through a series of questions. Well, how do you know this person?
Yeah, right. Boom.
Then after that, it went to just a frenzy.
A whole nother thing.
Now you got requests and stuff coming. Sometimes stuff just pop up.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
people hacking your page and
all kinds of stuff.
So it is crazy, man. I think that plays a big part into it, man. And I would say too, man, like for myself, I think you really gotta get an idea of like what is your best life for you. You know what I mean? It might be different to some people, but I think what you can't do is chase something. You can't chase the win.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to chase something that's attainable, and you got to be comfortable with what your definition of your best life is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I think too, like you said, just doing the work, man, and getting healed. You know what I mean? It's like what Jay-Z said in a song. He said, you can't heal what you don't reveal.
That's right.
So as long as we got this like Iron Man You know, men got it real bad. You know, we don't want to see nobody see a chink in our armor. Like, nah, I'm okay. No, you're not okay, bro.
No,
you know what I mean? You're
right.
not okay, man. And it's okay not to be okay.
It's
right
very
now.
okay. You
know what I mean?
We got to realize that a lot of that stuff that we leave untouched or not figured out, that is creating such a behavior issue for us.
Yes.
And then what we do is we pass that energy and all those bad behaviors on to other people around us.
Yes.
You know, I was listening to a guy that was talking about how he measures success as far as, you know, what we look at when we talk about wealth, or we talk about, you know, your success in business or whatever. And he said one of the worst things you can have in this life after all of that is when you don't have people that want to be around you.
Yeah.
And it's like, that
it don't matter. It don't even matter.
So you can be the most wealthiest tycoon in the world, but if you living over there in the castle by yourself with cobwebs everywhere, what are you doing?
It ain't gonna matter.
You know what I mean?
It ain't gonna matter.
So
that is true.
That to me, that's the thing that I feel is more important than anything else. It's good to have all that stuff, but you got to make sure that internal is where it needs to be.
Like the relationship wise of it. Yeah,
absolutely.
I know they said that you know, John D. Rockefeller, one of the people who built, they said he was making $1 million a week. You know, this was back then. You know, he's like an oil baron, a magnate, but he was miserable. He didn't have, like, he was soulless. You know what I mean? And even the one cat was like that, Howard Hughes. He was a recluse. He was making all this money, but he was miserable on the inside. So you think you got one thing, and they really don't have it on both ends.
No,
you know what I mean?
Don't.
So
you know,
it's really crazy. I remember one day I was leaving work, and there was a guy sitting on a median on Martin Luther King and Bonanza. Right, this was like 8, 9 in the morning. Right, he was sitting on the median, looked like, you know, he was begging for beer money or whatever.
Right,
I came back about 5 or 6 that day. You know, this dude was still there.
Still there.
But what it told me, I said, you know what? He's probably doing what he wants to do.
You know what?
As crazy as that sounds.
You know what? You know, saying what you're saying, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've experienced that with quite a few homeless people.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
And I said to him, it might be living it up to him.
I'm telling you,
know,
it's amazing the level of what your position is when it comes to living your best life. The mind is what matters the most. It's the perception in which you're living under the circumstances that you're living in, however that may be.
The perception.
Right. You know what I mean?
I truly believe that.
It's you know, the thing that I say is if you are in a position where you are feeling like you living your best life, beautiful. But make sure you're checking it. Make sure that you're checking off checks and balances and really paying attention to what is happening around you and to you, because you can go so long believing certain things and then you look up and you say, damn, why is everything so destructive around me? Why is this and why is that? Because believe me, there's an outcome for everything that we allow ourselves to succumb ourselves to. There's going to be a result or outcome behind that.
It has to manifest somewhere. It has to. It has to.
Yes.
And speaking on that, man, like, tell us about, man, how therapy has helped you. I remember when I talked to you, you were just saying, like, how you got into therapy, man, and it really changed your life, man. Can you speak on that a little bit,
absolutely,
man? Like, because you have a therapist. Shout out to your therapist.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We was going to try to get on the show.
We was going to have her on, but it was a conflict of interest.
Get on.
You know, I'm still her patient. So, but it's still, you know, I'm calling myself being a representative of her work at this point.
Okay.
But
and so what was the turning point that led you to say, you know what, I can't do this by myself. Maybe I need to seek something else. You know what I mean? Because we'll turn to substances, we'll turn to all kind of stuff.
Everything.
But I think therapy, especially in the Black community, especially as men, it has a stigma about it. So what was your turning point, you would say?
I'm going to tell you, at my lowest point, when I felt like, even though it was a brief moment, that it scared me for me to even thought the way I had thought. And I thought about killing myself. And I said, damn,
the fact that it even runs through your mind, man.
It scared me. I was like, I never, ever in my life ever thought that way. No matter what was happening.
That's crazy.
And I realized that I needed to find out what was happening. Because for so long, I was just going through the motion. I was masking a lot of things. I was holding in a lot of things. A lot of stress.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it just builds up.
It continually built up, and it was destroying everything around me. And I just
dangerous, man.
Very dangerous. You know, and from the outside looking in, everything looked fine.
Yeah, you can't tell. Huh?
No, I thought back to a couple of other people that because I started really studying a lot of situations after that, you know, and I studied a little bit of the situation with Robert Williams, the comedian.
Okay, yeah. And that blew me away, bro.
Oh, yeah. And can you imagine this man had us laughing for all these years?
Away. And he was dying
and he
inside.
was going through that type of depth of depression and anguish. Like, and that is what scared me, because I knew the potential for what that could possibly be. You know, so the first thing I thought about was saying, you know what, I'm going to actually, I know I need the help, but I'm going to actually go get this help. And I just dug, you know, and I'm going to tell you that right now, there's a scarcity on therapists.
Is it, man?
It was very difficult for me to find one.
Really?
Especially if you're trying to like get one, you know, that you really want to kind of, I won't say manufacture, but you want somebody who could fit what you, your personality, things of that nature. So I wanted a older black woman.
Okay. And I bet it was hard to really
it was very
find
hard.
that.
I went through probably 4 or 5 different therapy groups.
That you really went through the sessions with them, or you just went through just trying to
get the appointment.
Oh, okay.
To just set an appointment, someone to, you know, people, we're too booked, we're not taking anymore, we're this, that. And then, you know, the network insurance that I was with, they were like, we can only get these type from this particular ones. So I got very lucky to find the one that I did. Yeah.
How long you been rocking with her now?
Over a year.
Really?
Yeah.
I know just the talks we had, man, it's you know, just changed so much, man.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think it's such a stigma in the black community? As man, you looked up on, like, anytime you show any kind of vulnerability as a man, or why do you think that that's a stigma like that, man? Why would you think it's looked at?
You know, it's just a societal thought process what we grow up with. We gangsters, you know. We drug dealers. We street dudes. We all these things that's like the hardest of the hard. You know what I mean? We killers. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. So to live as a black man any other way, this is how our mindset is set up for.
So that's what we've been conditioned to say. This So
anytime we deem anything that's gonna make us look weak, we definitely gonna fight it as hard as we possibly can. And we can see that the bridge is completely cracked.
Right.
And we finna fall off in it. And we still gonna hold on to that.
Still hold on to that identity, that false sense of something. You know what I mean? Like, and that is true, man. That is true.
And I mean, it's you've been blessed to be in this world as long as a lot of us have. You know, we 50 plus.
Right.
And to look back at a lot of the things that went on in our life, we have survived 100% of our problems that we have had in our life. So at some point, we got to realize that we got to trust something more than what we have before. You know, we had to figure out now, like, if all that stuff took place, I survived it, but it didn't really put me in a position to where I needed to be, but it's giving me enough information to know where I don't want to be anymore.
Yes.
Let me figure out something else so I can be in a better place moving forward. You know what I mean?
A lot better place. Man. A lot better place. Did you feel any kind of way, like, about letting people know that you were seeing a therapist? Like, okay, like, you know, that you would, like, I ain't gonna really tell nobody. I mean, you told me,
like,
and
as
I'm
far
like,
as feeling embarrassed and everything, you know, I've always been a pretty much a leader kind of guy anyway. Even when I was in the streets, I did things I wanted to do. I didn't follow what everybody else did. Me getting therapy was really a strict self awareness that I had to, you know, put myself. And I wasn't afraid. It you know, when I started getting into it, I felt so good about it. I wanted to tell everybody.
Yeah, like people need to know about this.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, people need to know about
I felt like, God put me in a position to be that way so I can share that with other people. So if they can look at me and say, you know what, he used to be this, that, this and that, or whatever they may think of me now, they can identify with who I am as a person and then what they can see coming from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
The
man.
changes that has happened over this past year has been amazing.
And that's a short amount of time too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
very much short.
Year.
And that just goes to attest what you were saying before, how you got to put in that work.
You got to put in that
I've
work.
been working hard at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fighting your way back.
Yeah.
Fighting your way back.
Yeah, and through health as well.
Yeah, at the
You
same
know what
time.
I mean?
Yeah,
At the same
So when you
time.
got both of them going on, I got health and I got like emotional, mental. That's a tough fight, man. That's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's definitely tough, man.
Yeah.
You know, we are monitoring the chat, so if anybody got anything to call in, phone lines are open. Anything you want to shoot us in the chat that pertains to living your best life, either some of your experience or some information or something, a question you want to throw out there, please feel free to put it in the chat. Hit the phone lines. We all have them open. We're just trying to figure this thing out. You know what I mean? This thing called life.
And
man.
I also encourage any therapists out there to call in because, a lot of issues with people trying to get help is not having nobody to really call or, any avenues that's out there that people can really, get this information for.
Yeah.
So if you are out there and you are a therapist and you're listening, please give us a call as well to give us your information.
Yeah. It's people that really need it, man. And people, I think, they don't feel comfortable coming out and saying, I need help until they see somebody else saying, hey, you know what? I got this problem too.
Yeah.
Because I think like many men, suffer through this, man. And, that's why I always say women are different because women will go talk. They'll get it out. But men, we keep everything. Then when you blow a fuse one day, it's like all that stuff has been suppressed for so long.
Absolutely, man.
It's like you can't keep it. And it's like, it's in your body somewhere. You know what I mean? It's manifesting in your body, which brings us to our book of the day, which is posted in the chat. It's posted in the comment. The Body Keeps Score. Yeah. Brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what brought this book across your radar, man? I remember you first told me about it, then I started peeping it, man.
My therapist told me about it.
Okay.
Because I was so thrilled to be getting this help, and I wanted to share this ideal about therapy and everything, but also I wanted to even take a step further to where I want to actually become a therapist myself.
Okay.
So
career change, man.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I'm still,
still doing that, but that could be another avenue, something else, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you know the benefits of it.
Yeah. But the thing for me is, I've always been a type of person that want to help people. I just didn't know how.
Me too. Right. Me too.
I didn't know which lane to go in. I mean, I'm not a Bible person, so I know I could never be a preacher, even though I know scripture and this and that, but I can't quote it like that.
Right. Now you don't know it that deep. Man.
Yeah.
Me neither.
You know what I mean?
I'm on my way though, but I don't know it that deep.
Right. So I just feel like God has given me an opportunity to do it the way I can do it.
Yes. And I think you got to take what you got and do it.
Yeah. And if, like I say, it's all about, if anybody can get something from it, whether it's public, private, whatever, just hear it, take it, and then go do something with it.
Man. Yeah.
You
can touch one person and it might be that person, with them suicidal thoughts, like, you know what, hear this and be like, you know what, man, I'm glad I heard this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you ain't got nothing else to listen to but them voises in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a scary place to be, man.
No, it definitely is, man. That inner thought process, when it's not right, it could do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's running rampant in your head. You know what I mean? You're thinking like all kind of stuff, man. And I think a lot of men have had them thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thinking,
if you're a man and you lived and you've been out here busting your hump and doing all this in life and having family and all.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's not the easiest thing to do in the world.
It's not. It's not. To be a quote unquote righteous man, to be, you know what I mean, to really do things right.
That's right.
Because anybody can take the easy way out.
Absolutely.
And I think even doming yourself, that's the easy way out.
Very much so.
But even when you do that.
But look what you're leaving behind. Look at the problems you're leaving now.
Right.
Your family is like in shambles. It's so much, man, to destroy and being selfish like that.
Yeah, being selfish.
You know.
That's huge. It's being selfish, man. It really is. It's something else though, man. I know. Shout out to Quan, man. I read a post he posted the other day, and he said, "Life is too short not to be doing what you love."
Yeah,
and I've heard that before,
like that.
But sometimes when I come across it at different points in my life, it kind of really hits me. You know, it hits you kind of really different, man. I remember Steve Jobs said before he passed, he said he was talking about starting a work week, and he said, if today was the last day of your life, would you be wanting to do what you're getting ready to do?
Right. That's a excellent question.
That's heavy, man. Like,
that's an excellent question.
Am I really gonna go punch in on this? This is my last day. I'm knowing it.
Right.
Am I doing what I really want to do this last day? That's something serious to really think about,
Absolutely.
man. And I think, like what we're talking about today's topic, man. How can I engineer my life where I'm living my best life, or I'm at least aspiring to live my best life? You know what I mean?
I think for the most part, we have to learn how to live simplistic.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think when we try to get too far out there with things, and we start making other things matter more than certain things, then that creates such a stress for us because a lot of it is just not a natural way.
Yes.
If you look at nature, the tree is not trying to be the grass, and the grass is not trying to be the tree.
Simple. Yeah. Right.
They're trying to be what they're supposed to be, and they're doing the best job at it. You know what I mean? So if we can find our way through that and realize that it's how important it is to be just the best version of yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you can instantly enjoy a blissfulness that nothing outside of you can give you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I love being, in my own lane. It's a beautiful place to be.
Can't nobody be you.
There's no traffic.
At all. Wide open, man.
I can hit the gas if I want to, or I can drive slow if I want to. I can do whatever I want.
But when you veer up into that other lane and you see it's bumper to bumper, you know
Diesels
what I mean?
And stuff coming through. I'm trying to cross. I mean,
It ain't the lane you're supposed to be in, man. Absolutely, man. And you know, life is crazy because we learning as we go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially through each decade. Like the 20s, the 30s. To me, I look at it like this: like in your 20s and 30s, you kind of like messing up. Your 40s, you start straightening up. You know what I mean? And at some point, okay, I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we learning this literally on the job training as we go, man. And you're right. A lot of stuff you had to simplify it.
Yeah. I was listening to Tony Robbins this morning talk about a situation when it comes to the ages. And he was saying that like in your 20s, you're like in the spring season. So you just see that now everything is being planted and you're growing and all this. Then when you hit the 20s, between 20s to 40 something, now you're trying to take what you learned and the things that were planted in you, and now you're trying to turn the plow and seed the ground.
That's good.
And now after you do that, depending on how well you do it, when you hit your 40s and between your 60s, now you're able to pull the crop and pick.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. You're gonna reap what you sow.
Reap what you sow.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that is what I start to realize and understand about being where I'm at now. And that's why I don't worry about my past to that degree, because no matter how much crap I had on it, I still planted some seeds that needed to grow. But that crap was necessary.
It was very necessary.
You look at how we put manure on.
Well, I'm about to say the manure is very necessary. You can't do it without it.
You can't do it without it.
You can't do it without it.
It's literally, if I don't go through the things that I've been through, I wouldn't feel the way I feel today.
Right. That's true. That's true.
And so I'm very thankful for it. I really don't take it as something where I feel like, I mean, at first I did when I didn't understand it.
You don't understand
when I couldn't figure it out. But that's natural. I mean, anytime you go through an issue or a problem or a situation and you can't see the end of the road, it's natural for you to have a fear or anxiety or all
just
these type
unknown,
of things.
not knowing.
That's
you know what I mean? Not
right.
knowing. I think that's perfect too, man. And we appreciate it. I know Kanye West had a line in one of his songs, and he said, "Everything I'm not made me everything I am."
That's right.
You know what I mean? So you got to appreciate both ends of the spectrum. You got to, because that's what got me here. You know what I mean?
That's what gives you the gratitude, man. When you wake up every morning and you, made it through that one. That sets you up for being grateful.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So to me, I wake up, I am You can tell me I got $1 million every day. That's what you can basically
really.
tell
That's
me.
what, yeah,
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, every day is $1 million day.
And that's
for
true.
me.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
You got that in favor, grace, opportunity, health. You really do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really do, man.
Yeah.
Speaking on our book, man, why do you think the body keeps score? Why do you think that?
I think it's a natural correlation. The body can't do what the body can't do without the mind telling it to do something.
Yes.
So whatever we tell our minds, or whatever we allow to go into our minds, you're going to naturally create some type of chemical from that.
Totally.
A lot of times, that's why when they tell cancer patients to try to be in the best space you can, they try to put all this good
stuff
atmosphere around
you.
them, because that is going to help them go
it's
through
going to help
cure.
their body, ain't it?
Yeah. You know, and it works just the opposite. If you are negative and hateful and spiteful and always, your body will start deteriorating because of those chemicals are now attacking your organs and all
That's
these
crazy,
different
man.
things. Now, I don't know the exact term as far
But I
as
know
the
what you're
chemicals
saying,
that
but
produce,
it's the vibes
but
and energy you putting off in it.
And it produces those real chemicals. Just like being happy and being euphoric, how the dopamine
it does something to you, right?
And I'm telling you, when you are happy, it don't feel like there's nothing you can't do.
Yes,
you know,
and everything kind of rolls off you and stuff too.
Oh yeah,
that is true.
Oh
that
yeah,
is true. Yeah.
So like I say, I appreciate understanding how I need to live my life at this point. You know, I appreciate everything that I've experienced, everything that I've gone through. But I love what I am now starting to see moving forward, because it really gave me the insight on how I want to live, why I want to live, and how do I want to relate to other people that live around me. You know,
It's like I thought I was living back then, but like now I know I'm really living. You know what I'm saying? You think you was living back, you know what I'm saying, in your early 30s and 40s, but that wasn't nothing, dude.
Right.
It wasn't it. You know what I mean?
You wasn't able to have the enjoyment like this. Believe me. Listen, I used to work, oh God, I can't even, it's count. I used to work 7 days a week.
That's crazy, man. 7 days a week.
7 days a week. Where am I going to have time to enjoy anything?
God,
I don't think I had took a vacation in 20 years.
I tell people, man, I don't want a gold casket.
Right.
And when you're like, they be trying to work and get it all, like, I got to have a balance, man. Like, I don't want to be like King Tut. Dude.
Right.
I don't need that, bro.
Yeah,
like,
because, they robbed the Egyptians.
But
tombs,
you spend all that, like, where are you going to do with all that work? And see, you killing yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's nuts, man.
Yeah,
I know you've been taking more trips lately, too. I know every time you get away a little bit.
I'm leaving as soon as we get done with this.
Oh, and it's refreshing to the spirit, man. You know, I want to do more of it. You know what I'm saying? I really want to do more of it, man.
Listen, I'm living my best life right now.
Yeah,
and the funny, money ain't got nothing to do with it.
Ain't got nothing to do. I think it's a state of mind.
That's
a
all
state
it
of
is.
spirit.
That's
you know what I mean? A state of mind. Because I've seen people that it looks like they live in a certain life based on, money or status or whatever, but on the backside of that, it's like we don't know what it takes for them to try to keep this up.
Right.
And on the inside, it's killing them.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was
that person.
Yeah.
I was that person. I big house, rent bills is ridiculous. You got 3 or 4 cars, gas, insurance. I mean, it's.
And they say people like that, they can't sleep.
No, how?
You know what I mean? It's like you got all that and you can't even sleep. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool, bro.
I know.
I'm cool. I'm good, man. Let me get a good night's sleep over all that, man.
I sleep well. I sleep 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
I sleep 8 hours a night, man.
That's good, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people don't get that, man. No. And statistics say we sleep a third of our life.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's
right
a gift,
now,
but I like to be charged. I love it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm up early anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm up early, man.
You just pick your 8 hours and how you want to balance it all out, But
But that's nuts, man. Working like running yourself into the ground and not even realizing it.
No,
you know what I mean?
We don't realize it till it's too late, till we hit.
Till it's too late, right? Yeah.
My life came to a screeching halt. I was
like a wake up call, man.
I was I'm 40 something years old now. I'm going for the most weightlifting, powerlifting amount of weight that I ain't never lifted in my life. All of a sudden, like
you was hard on it too, man. You was going hard on it, man.
Very hard on it, man. I was trying to get, I was trying to get into a record book or something, you know.
Yeah, you was hard, man.
Yeah, but my body just said, man, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Your mental is strong, but your body
your
is
body,
not.
Your body, it ain't got it. I remember I was watching just the other day. I was watching Tyson when he fought Kevin McBride. Yeah, it was like his last fight. And they stopped it. It was a technical knockout, and Tyson was like, I ain't got it no more.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not a killer no more. I'm worried about my kid. We have seasons in life. And he was just like, I'm out here fighting. And he was like, I'm just doing it to pay my bills. But he said, I didn't have it no more.
He had no hunger.
Yeah, and we got to be cool with that, knowing like not to overstay our season.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like I ain't got it no more, dude.
Right.
And I'm cool with that.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm cool with that, man.
Yeah.
And I think trying to hold on to a season too long is that, you know what I always say what disappointment is when expectation meets reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We expect one thing, but the reality of it is we here.
Yeah.
You ain't got it like that no more.
No.
You know? So.
And the best people who can transition into that, man, are the ones who they deplete themselves in what they're doing.
Yeah.
So Kobe, the great Kobe Bryant, like prime example. Kobe left everything he had,
everything
where
on the floor.
Where it was at. So when he had to transition over. He went hard in the other things that he needed to go hard in. You see so many, like you say, Mike Tyson was fighting for bills, to pay bills. Same thing with George Foreman. I know he got a movie coming out now.
Right,
He's going to be talking about a lot of, but that is what we end up, getting out of season with. That's why that period of time that we're talking about, you got to make sure you get everything done. You got to exhaust yourself in that period.
In your prime of it.
So now when you get to this other side, you know you're good to go. This is a great example for our young people to realize if they can pay attention to what we consider old heads. Don't think we're just trying to tell you something that we don't want you to go through life and enjoy and experience and do all these things. We're just trying to give you a bit of a roadmap that you can help prevent a lot of the stuff that you're gonna have to endure. You're gonna go through a lot regardless anyway. But if you can I always used to feel like if I could. I love my grandparents. I used to love being around them and listening to them talk about all their stories as children and everything else, because I knew I could see myself in those stories. So if I can find and identify certain patterns and things of that nature, it gave me like a sixth sense.
It did.
It saved my life a few times when I cared about living. I care about living.
Just hearing that information.
But when I was in the streets, it helped me to be able to identify trouble when it was around the corner.
It was like a sixth sense, just hearing that information.
So I paid attention to a lot of what my elders said and the things that they talk about and the stories they had.
I think so, man. And I think you can extract the lesson without the hardship.
Right.
A 15-minute conversation might say you 5 years in your life.
That's right.
Oh, I ain't got to go through that? You know what I mean? So, hey, man, hey, take heed, because to tell the truth, when we was coming up and growing up, it wasn't no podcast shows. It wasn't none of that. You had to go through it.
Everything.
You know what I mean? It was like this new media. It didn't exist, so you couldn't hear no information and be like, you know what? That makes sense. Let me try that. You might get a jump on life just listening to somebody.
That's right.
And
just make a decision on doing something and go after it. You could do it with very little distractions if you choose.
That's true.
You can block out anything you want to block out these days. A lot of times I see people arguing back and forth on social media and doing all this and all that. I'm saying, why? Why? All you do is just hit one button and it's over with.
And it's over with.
You ain't even got to open yourself up to it no more.
Hey, block is the coldest feature in the 21st century. Block is on the front, like that is the coldest feature
that's like
ever
hanging
made.
Up, that's like hanging up a rotary phone.
Hanging up for life though. You know what I mean? Then you can always unblock. Hey, I don't even want to deal with you no more, bro. We cool, bro. I don't got to see nothing from you no more, man. Let me read a quote out of the book, man. Once again, our book of the day is The Body Keeps Score. The link is in the description. And it says, one of the things is the challenge is how can people gain control over the residues of past trauma and return to being masters of their own ship?
That's a great question.
And that's what we was talking about, the residue of past trauma. You know what I mean? Like getting through that stuff that happened to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, it's seeking out information, getting some help.
Yeah, it's just like the what's they called, the letters PSTD or
post traumatic. Yeah. That's real.
That's real. Not just for people in the service, but it's people in life,
like regular life.
Yeah.
I
was reading reading from that book,
PTSD.
PTSD. I reading in that book. I was reading about a story about a veteran that was shut himself in his office because of fireworks on the 4th of July.
Golly, something simple as that?
He was so traumatized with warfare that he had to shut himself off from the rest of the world just to be able to make it through another day.
That's crazy, man.
You
on
know,
something like a holiday, 4th of July.
Yeah.
But all that pop.
Yeah. He diving on grounds and, doing all this kind of stuff. So this is the things that, excuse me, these are the things that we take for granted on understanding the dramatic effects that these things have.
Yeah.
Then we try to normalize bad behavior.
Yes.
And not figure out
like ain't nothing wrong with it.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything has a cause and effect. That's just a simple equation.
Yeah.
And the more that we don't understand how to put things and make things simplistic, then we muddy up all this stuff, and then we constantly wondering why our behavior patterns are the way they are, and our quality of life. Our quality of life sucks behind it. You know what I mean?
It really does. It really does, man. And I'd rather have quality of life, even in like if it's on some simple stuff. At least I got the quality outweighs anything else. You know what I mean?
There's no price big enough for peace. Of mine.
Yeah. It's priceless.
It's beyond priceless, man. You can't put a dollar amount on it.
Yeah. If somebody said, "I'll give you this," you couldn't. What could you come up with? You know what I mean?
Nothing,
And I know the feeling. I know both sides of it. I know the feeling of having it and the feeling of not having it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just living long enough, just experience. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. You know, this day and time we live in, if you don't have a firm grip on how you're going to allow yourself to be engaged in situations based on what you have put in your mind and how strong you can build it so your body don't react to it in a way where it's detrimental. Everything around you will destroy you, literally. I mean, you have so many systemic ideals and things that are happening that causes so much trauma to us, and a lot of it is done in a way where you can't even speak up about it or speak out about it because now it's in law.
Yeah, that's a law.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And so you find yourself like not understanding how important it is to guard your own mind and be able to protect it. You know what I mean? Because
that's all you got.
You're the only person that's going to protect it. You know what I mean? You know,
that's all you got, man. That's really all you got, man.
Yeah, man. So it's really I encourage everybody. I don't care who you are, man, woman, child, whoever. Man, find ways to strengthen your mind. Find ways to get into a space in your life where you become so overwhelmed with blissfulness that nothing can infiltrate that.
It's overflow.
Yeah. You know, it's no such thing as being too happy.
Right. It sure ain't. Yeah.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
People wonder why they so happy. You know what I mean?
I had somebody one day tell me they was mad, but I understood.
Yeah.
Because for years I wrote a post every day, and the post that I would write every day would be something positive.
Something positive.
I know a few people that's doing that.
That's all I got. That's all I know, bro.
Yeah. So when I would do it, sometimes I'll have people come to me and be like, "Man, how you like that every day?"
Every day, yeah.
I said, the funny thing about it is I write based on what I opened my mind up to. I said, when I look back at a lot of those, I don't even be realizing I had wrote it.
That's crazy.
I said, some of the times I look back at it just to see, and then it gives me inspiration.
Yeah, you
know
give
what
your
I
own
mean?
self. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that is
right.
true. That's
so
crazy.
I had always made it a point that that's what I was going to do. And I'm talking about going through all my traumas and everything. I still would do that.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
even that's a form of therapy.
Yeah.
Even, you know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
and then you blessing somebody else with your words.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I had a buddy of mine was telling me to put together a little book. I said, man, I don't know if, people really look at it like that. You know what I mean?
You should. He's like, you got a lot of, you should. If you're doing something every day, you should, man.
I probably got about 8 years of it.
That's crazy. You got enough material. You definitely got enough material.
Yeah.
Man. You should.
But now that I'm on this path, I'm sure that's going to come down the pipe.
That'll maybe develop later on.
Right,
yeah,
right,
It could be like, what do they call them? Daily affirmation, something. You know what I mean? Something that you can chew on every day, something positive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm about, man. I know sometimes when I was at work, people say, man, Dave, you always coming in, with a good attitude. I said, you got to bring your own energy in here, man.
You have to.
You can't come looking for it.
Right.
You got to bring your own energy,
right.
man.
That's right.
I'm real big on that.
We like the earth. We carry our own atmosphere.
Yes.
If we can't produce what we need in our atmosphere, then we're gonna let everything else from the outside interfere,
corrupt it.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that force field and like bringing your own stuff in there, and I usually make my mind up early when I get up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like early. Okay, this is the day gonna bring it, but I got to stay in my right frame of mind, not to let it get to me.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? And it takes work. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of work.
It sounds easier than what it is, but it takes some work.
It's
it definitely
not.
takes
Man,
some work.
I listen to the same stuff every morning.
Do you?
I listen
but
to
it's good.
Listen, I listen to a.
It feeds you.
I listen to a yes, it do. I listen to an affirmation. People hear me listen to that think I'm corny. I don't care.
But it works.
But
it works.
Listen, it done saved a lot of road rage situations. It done saved a lot of
especially out in this world nowadays. But hey, whatever works, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to stabilize your mind, and you have to start off stabilizing it. You have to start off your day. Putting yourself in a mood, and it'll just carry over.
It will,
and I'm gonna tell you the atmosphere that people notice it. Like you don't even have to open your mouth, just your aura.
Your aura, your energy and your aura. Right. They'll notice it.
Anybody
they pick up
you
on
come
it.
in contact with I had people just come up to me, start talking to me out of nowhere.
Really?
Oh yeah,
you got an approachable spirit or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they can feel it before you even say anything.
Before you say anything,
you know it.
Right.
I'm real big on reading energy too, so you can feel it.
Yeah.
You know the people to approach and not the people that don't approach.
Right,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, okay, no.
Right. And if you do
something.
see them, like I've seen people going through stuff, and I've talked just out of nowhere to them.
Just talk to them. Yeah,
I seen a young lady. She was crying on the way. Looked like she probably was going into work. I was getting gas at the gas station, and I could just see her. She's just crying and going into work. Yeah, so I went in. I paid for my gas, and I saw her behind the counter. She was still crying.
She worked there.
Yeah, she worked there, and so I told her, look, I'm not trying to be in your business or nothing. I said, but whatever you're going through, let God take over for you. Allow Him to be, the entity that you lean on, and everything is going to be okay. I just walked out.
Just as simple as that.
Just as simple as that. A lot of times we just don't know how much we can help influence somebody, because we live in a world, man, that we barely speak to each other.
Don't say nothing like it's taking all that out, man.
It's crazy.
Won't let me speak. Walk right by somebody.
Yes,
I had people walk right by you, look in the eye, and still won't say nothing. Like, bro, I just ain't from that, man. I'm raised. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Right.
It's different, man. Like, hey, how you doing? We always speak, man. It's just like manners. It's just like basic stuff. But people walk right by you, man. Hey, probably see you on fire and won't even say nothing. Like, hey, bro, you know I'm on fire, right?
No, they'll bring out a phone and start start recording it.
It's crazy. Yeah, I see this dude on fire. I didn't bother to get a hose, but he's on fire. But you're right, man. People won't even speak to you and don't know what nobody's going through. You know what I mean? You don't know when that last button been pushed, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. And that's why you got to be careful how you treat people, man.
Yeah.
I right now, the world is a scary place.
It is.
Especially for our young. These school shootings and all that stuff.
That's unheard of, man. You just think about when we was coming up. I never heard about a school shooting.
Never.
You know what I mean? To after Columbine on down, but like before that, somebody might got whooped out to school, but like school shootings though, like, and we got to prepare our kids and grandkids for a world that ain't even here yet.
Right.
Like, how do you tell them about school shootings? That's just insane, man. That is insane, bro.
Yeah. It just goes to show the world is very unhealed, man. It's very damaged right now. You know, and we have to be able to try to the best of our ability to just be an example.
Yeah, that's all you can.
And that's why I don't care about talking about therapy and those things. I don't care. You know, listen, I'd rather talk to you about therapy than talk to you about selling dope.
So right. Some positive and constructive.
You know what I mean? I mean, everybody can talk about all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, and that's in the past. You know what I mean?
That's a day of you know, and so for me, that's what life is all about at this point. You know, I want to be able to influence anybody who is willing to listen. And anybody who may need, the encouragement. Just
people out there that need it, man, especially as men, and you know what I mean, like a lot, man. Again, the title of today's show is "Are You Living Your Best Life?" We're talking about strategies. We're talking about past trauma. We're talking about healing from trauma. Anything that can put you on the right path to living your best life, man. And if you're not living it, find out how you can live your best life based on your own terms.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? So,
that's right. It got to be based on your own terms. You can't. I was listening to the minister this morning, and he said that the best way to have success in your life is to strive as hard as you can to do the will of God. And be the best you can possibly be. Nobody can beat you at being you.
Yeah, you are unique, We all unique individuals, no matter what is it, 7 billion people on Earth.
Oh, man.
Everybody's unique.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? And everybody
we don't have the same fingerprints.
Yeah, nobody.
We don't have the same,
and that's unique, man. That's like
so.
Crazy, man. So
for all those people, nobody have nothing
nobody's
the same.
That's amazing. That is amazing, man.
And that's what makes it so. That's what makes it so great because now we have so many things to pull from.
So many. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So much, man.
Yeah.
They say life is you ever seen like Born On and Died On?
Yeah.
Life is that little dash.
That's right.
Everything is in that little dash, man. Like,
if you look at the comparison of how long the world's been here and how much long. So I think one time I heard the quote say, "It's not that life is too short. It's just you're dead for a long time."
You just did right. When they say you're older longer than you're younger, and you dead forever. And that's true.
So,
that's true. That's
if we make it 70, 80, 90 years, if we blessed, that's still a fragment, of comparison to how long the world's been here. So why not do and live it the best that you possibly can? What do you have to lose?
That is true.
You want to live as well as you possibly can while you're here.
While you can.
And not only that, our spirit lives on. So
it
guess
really
what?
does.
I have my children are all bits and pieces of me. Each and every one of them have a different type of
and
personality.
Your spirit will keep living as long as they live. You know what I mean?
Through their children.
It keeps going. Yeah, it keeps going.
So you want to produce that type of karma, if you want to.
And they get that from you. Like I got it from my dad. Like it goes on and on. It goes on and on.
That's right.
It is true.
Yes,
It is true. Let me read one more quote from the book about we was talking about time, and it says, "You live through that little piece of time that is yours, but that piece of time is not only your life. It is summing up all the other lives that are simultaneously with yours. What you are is an expression of history." It was Robert Penn Warren from World Enough and Time. And that's crazy. You know what I mean? It says it's the summing up of all the other lives that are simultaneously with yours. So what you are is an expression of history.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
that kind of encapsulates everything.
That's right. That is exactly right. And
those
are the type of things that we need to start understanding how important it is to implement this type of thinking. Before it's too late. And pass it on to your children. Man, we losing so much because we engage in so much foolishness.
Foolishness, man. Foolery. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I look at stuff and I'm sitting here going, Why?
Yeah,
The challenges used to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
there was always something behind that too.
Oh, my
People didn't
God.
know it was something deeper behind them.
Yeah.
The ALS challenge. It was something always deeper behind that, man.
Always.
And people do anything.
Anything.
Like anything they start, I'm like, man, come on.
I got so tired of it. I went on and I said, you know what? I'm gonna start a challenge and see how many people pick up on it.
Yeah, something real.
I did read a book a month challenge.
Yeah.
And I
Crickets.
made a page.
Crickets,
I made
man.
a page called "Reading is Fundamental."
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I put a statistic showing how many people stopped reading after high school, and then how many people stopped. It was the numbers are staggering,
man.
You know, and I have listened to billionaires talk about how they study every day.
They study every day.
Every single day.
They study every day.
You know what I mean?
They study the main thing.
And so we really don't understand the magnitude of what reading really does for us and how influential it can be and how it can change our lives. I got the page up still.
Do you?
I check it every now and again.
It out. I'm about to read it. I'm about to post on there because I do. I read something. I reread stuff. And to your point, Warren Buffett, who's, probably the biggest investor we know, his day is set up to where he reads 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's like a part of his day.
Yeah.
But that's how he makes his money. And what he's reading is financial reports.
Right.
He's not necessarily reading like self-development or self-help book.
Right.
But he's still absorbing knowledge.
Yeah.
He's 80-something years old.
Well, it's a discipline that he has
discipline.
now. Yeah.
And he looks back and he looks forward.
Right.
What made Coke a successful company then?
Right.
It's probably going to make them something now.
Right.
So when he bought Coca-Cola, right? He bought it. He raised his share, I think, like 50 cents. Like Cokes, here's what he said. He said they sell 2 million Cokes a day.
Oh, wow.
So he bought the company and raised the price by 50 cents. Wow. That's insane. To make that as soon as he bought it.
Yeah.
But that came from reading.
That's right.
To study, the past is probably what's going to make the future.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, it's a discipline to read.
That's right.
They say, if you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Yeah.
You never find.
And that's a sad thing to say, man. It's so sad.
It's crazy, man.
It drives me crazy.
It's nuts, man.
Like, damn, man.
It's nuts, dog.
But
I gotta hit that page up, though. I'm gonna have to hit it up.
Oh no, man!
Yeah. It's a real challenge.
It's a few people that be on there.
That do it.
I can see some active.
And sometimes I like to find out, like, what y'all reading? What we reading this month?
That's what I love about it. I've found some interesting books on that page.
I read kind of broad. I read biographies. I read, self-help. Like, it's just so much stuff you can learn, man.
That's
you know what I mean?
It never stops.
Never stops, dude.
It never stops.
They say the real education starts when you leave school.
Yeah.
That's just the fundamental. The real education starts when you leave school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Nuts though, man. But yeah, man, we about to wrap it up, man. Good convo, good conversation, man. Anything else you want to touch on, man? We can close it out. Like about how do you bridge the gap? And do you just accept the cards you were dealt? But how do you bridge the gap from where you are to living your best life?
I think the number one thing you have to do first is, ask yourself the question. And realize that the answer is the start of your journey.
That's where the work's going to start.
That's where it's going to start.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Once you can figure that part out, then you're on your way. The next step is just taking action.
Yes.
Because no matter what you do, or think, I should say, if you don't have no action with it,
it ain't going nowhere right.
Yeah.
I would say that too.
You're just spinning your wheels and you're just thinking about a lot of stuff, stretching yourself out even more.
Right, even more. And I would say that, I would second that too, is just take a real self-assessment, understand where you are and where I want to be. And what's it going to take, to get there. And it might not happen overnight. No. Like they say, if I can get 1% better every day, 365 days in a year, that's a 360.
That's right.
1%.
1%.
I don't got to go from 10 to 50%.
That's it.
If I can get 1% better every day,
that's right.
I'm going to come full circle.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Just keep doing what it takes, man. Researching, getting information. Definitely check out this book. We got the link in the comments, and do everything you can, man, to live the best life you can. Ask yourself, am I living my best life? Is this move I'm about to make, is it contributing to me living my best life, man? And as we say, man, the Righteous Turnt Up podcast is just about doing the right things, man.
That's it. Making the right decisions.
Making the right decisions.
If we all can make the right decisions, man, it'll be a better world for all of us. But we have to start with the world that we're living in first.
Right. That's real talk. Real talk, man. The Righteous Turnt Up Podcast. David Ware, David Foster. We're broadcasting live from Vegas Hype Media Network. Shout out to my man Quan. We're going to wrap up this show. We'll check you out on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
The Righteously Turned Up Podcast with your hosts, David Ware and David Foster, where we talk about life, lessons, manhood, family, faith, health, hardships, and hustle.
To me, it's the most important thing, man. It's just waking up every day, making the right decision. You know, that's my whole premise for understanding what being righteously turned up is all about.